The once unbreakable alliance between Elon and Trump, a partnership forged in the crucible of ambition and disruptor mentalities, has shattered into a very public and acrimonious dispute. What began as a seemingly minor policy disagreement has spiraled into a full-blown personal vendetta, playing out with unprecedented ferocity across the digital battlegrounds of social media and threatening to reshape the landscape of American politics and business. The initial cracks in their formidable alliance appeared not with a bang, but with the quiet hum of legislative machinery. Trump, ever the showman, had proudly unveiled his brainchild, the Big Beautiful Bill, a sweeping tax reform and government spending package designed to be the crown jewel of his legislative legacy. He touted it as an economic booster, a testament to American prosperity. But then came the unexpected dissenting voice. Elon, the titan of Tesla and SpaceX, a man who had often stood shoulder to shoulder with Trump, broke ranks. In a series of blistering posts on X, formerly Twitter, Musk didn't just criticize the bill, he savaged it. He declared it a disgusting abomination, a fiscal disaster waiting to happen. He railed against its potential to balloon the national debt, echoing the concerns of fiscal conservatives but aiming his ire directly at the architect of the bill. This wasn't just a policy disagreement. It was a public repudiation by one of Trump's most influential, albeit unconventional, allies. The Silicon Valley mogul, who had once been hailed by Trump as a visionary, was now openly challenging his signature legislative effort. The silence from the Trump camp in the immediate aftermath was deafening, a prelude to the storm. The silence didn't last. Trump, never one to shy away from a fight, especially when his authority was challenged, unleashed a torrent of indignation on Truth Social. His initial reaction was a seemingly restrained disappointment in Musk. But this quickly gave way to the full, unadulterated force of a Trumpian counterattack. He didn't just criticize Musk, he threatened him. The words, delivered with characteristic bluntness, sent shockwaves through the financial and political worlds. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. This wasn't a suggestion. It was a direct threat to the financial lifeblood of Musk's empires. SpaceX, a cornerstone of NASA's space exploration efforts and a crucial player in national security launches, relies heavily on these federal contracts. Tesla, too, benefits from various government incentives and tax credits. The implication was clear: cross Trump and face the consequences. Musk, equally unyielding, met the challenge head-on. His X feed transformed into a battlefield. He dared Trump to cut the funding, almost taunting him. The exchange escalated rapidly, turning personal and increasingly volatile. In one particularly incendiary post, since deleted, Musk made an unsubstantiated claim, hinting at Trump's name appearing in unreleased files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The insinuation of hidden government secrets and potential cover-ups was a calculated jab below the belt, designed to provoke and discredit. The war of words quickly spilled beyond the digital realm, drawing in key political figures and deepening the chasm between the two moguls. Vice President J.D. Vance, a rising star in the Republican Party, didn't mince words. He called Musk's actions a huge mistake, signaling that the door to the Republican inner circle might be closing for the tech billionaire. Vance's statement was a clear message that loyalty to Trump and the party's agenda was paramount. Even House Speaker Mike Johnson, usually more measured in his public statements, downplayed Musk's influence, asserting with confidence that the Big Beautiful Bill would pass despite his criticism. This unified front from the Republican leadership indicated that they were rallying behind Trump and his legislative agenda, effectively isolating Musk in his opposition. The dispute laid bare the complex and often transactional nature of political alliances. For years, Musk had cultivated relationships across the political spectrum, but his alignment with Trump had been particularly prominent, marked by shared ambitions for American industry and a mutual disdain for perceived bureaucratic inefficiencies. Now, that alignment was irrevocably broken. As of early June 2025, the relationship between Trump and Elon is not just strained. It is, by all accounts, completely shattered. Trump's stance is unequivocal. He has publicly declared that he has no desire to mend fences and has explicitly stated that their once close ties are effectively over. When pressed on the permanence of this rupture, Trump's response was a terse, Assume so, yeah. But the former president didn't stop there. He issued a chilling warning, a veiled threat of serious consequences for Musk if he were to back Democratic candidates in future elections. This statement underscores the high stakes involved. With billions of dollars in government contracts hanging in the balance, Trump's words carry immense weight. For a company like SpaceX, which relies heavily on federal funding for its ambitious projects, such a threat is existential. Despite reports of quiet attempts by aides from both sides to de-escalate the situation, a direct conversation between Trump and Musk remains elusive. While Musk has reportedly expressed a willingness for a call, Trump has shown no inclination to engage, suggesting a deeper, more personal animosity than mere policy disagreement. The financial repercussions of this very public feud were immediate and stark. In the wake of Trump's initial criticisms, Tesla's stock price experienced a significant plunge, wiping out billions from Musk's personal fortune. This served as a potent reminder of the power of political rhetoric, especially when wielded by a figure like Trump, to directly impact market confidence and corporate valuations. Beyond the financial hit, the feud raises profound questions about Musk's future political influence, particularly within the conservative movement. While he has been a significant donor to Republican causes in the past, his open defiance of Trump and the party's legislative agenda could severely diminish his standing and ability to shape policy from within. The Big Beautiful Bill, the original catalyst for this dramatic fallout, continues its journey through Congress, largely undeterred by Musk's vocal opposition. However, the dispute has undoubtedly highlighted the deep ideological rifts that exist, even among those who might otherwise align with conservative principles. It showcases the ongoing struggle between different factions within the pro-business and technologically forward-thinking wings of the Republican-aligned world. Ultimately, the bitter and public rupture between Elon and Trump serves as a compelling narrative about power, ego, and the volatile intersection of politics and business in the 21st century. It's a story that continues to unfold, with each new development drawing more attention and keeping viewers glued to their screens, eager to see what new twists and turns this high-stakes drama will take. To understand the current animosity, one must first rewind the clock, tracing the erratic trajectory of their relationship back to the early 2010s. It wasn't a love story from the start. In fact, their initial interactions were often marked by skepticism, if not outright disdain. Before Trump's ascent to the White House, Elon was largely perceived as a centrist, even-leaning Democrat. He had publicly stated he voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016 and Joe Biden in 2020. His concerns were often aligned with environmentalism and technological advancement, areas where the Democratic Party traditionally held more sway. In 2016, Musk wasn't a fan of Trump, publicly stating that Trump doesn't seem to have the sort of character that reflects well on the United States. He even resigned from two of Trump's advisory councils in 2017 after the Trump administration pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord, a move Musk vocally opposed. This was a clear ideological divergence, suggesting that any future alliance would be born out of pragmatism rather than shared core values. Despite the early friction, a curious dynamic began to emerge. Trump, ever keen on aligning himself with high-profile innovators and job creators, recognized Musk's immense influence and the scale of his ambitions, particularly with SpaceX. He famously called Musk one of our very smart people, and praised his achievements with rockets. Musk, for his part, while sometimes critical of Trump's policies, also recognized the potential for his companies to benefit from government contracts and a deregulatory environment. This period saw a kind of transactional alliance. Musk would meet with Trump in the Oval Office, sometimes to discuss his ambitious Mars colonization plans, sometimes to offer advice. He was seen as one of the voices of reason in the administration, providing a direct line to Silicon Valley. However, it was a relationship built on cautious engagement, often punctuated by Musk's public criticisms of specific Trump policies, such as the travel ban. The Bulls * artist Feud, 2022 a temporary D2 ***. The relationship took a significant downturn in 2022. Trump, out of office but still a dominant political force, publicly lashed out at Musk, calling him a Bulls **** artist and claiming Musk had told him he voted for him, which Musk denied. Trump also criticized Musk's acquisition of Twitter, calling it a mess. Musk swiftly hit back, suggesting Trump was too old to run for office in 2024 and should hang up his hat and sail into the sunset. He even voiced support for Ron DeSantis as a potential Republican candidate at the time. This period marked a rare public feud where the two men directly insulted each other, seemingly signaling a permanent break. But politics, especially at this level, is rarely linear. As the 2024 election cycle ramped up, a dramatic shift occurred. Musk's political leanings noticeably moved further to the right. He became increasingly vocal on X, which he had acquired and rebranded, promoting ideas aligned with conservative and libertarian viewpoints, often engaging with far-right narratives. His rhetoric on free speech absolutism, immigration, and what he perceived as government overreach began to mirror Trump's. The turning point was arguably July 2024, following the assassination attempt on Trump. Within minutes of the news, Musk publicly declared, "I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery." This unequivocal endorsement signaled a new chapter. From there, their relationship blossomed into what many observers described as a bromance. Musk became a formidable financial backer for Trump's campaign, reportedly pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into supporting his election, making him the largest individual political donor of the 2024 cycle. This was a monumental shift for a man who had previously donated to Democrats. Musk didn't just open his wallet, he opened his platform. In August 2024, he hosted a lengthy interview with Trump on X, a conversation that, despite technical glitches, largely followed the contours of Trump's campaign speeches and showcased their newfound camaraderie. The public displays of their alliance grew increasingly pronounced. In October 2024, Musk hit the campaign trail with Trump, even addressing a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, wearing a custom black "Make America Great Again" hat. He described himself as Dark MAGA and made dramatic predictions about the future of the nation if Trump did not win. Musk spent election night at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's Florida residence, and the morning after, celebrated Trump's victory with an AI-generated image of himself saluting the American flag, captioned, "It is morning in America again." Following Trump's election victory in November 2024, Musk's influence reached unprecedented heights. Trump announced that Musk, along with Vivek Ramaswamy, would co-lead a new, temporary government organization, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. This initiative was tasked with a sweeping mandate to slash federal spending and modernize government operations, essentially giving Musk a direct hand in reshaping the federal bureaucracy. Musk attended Trump's second inauguration in January 2025 and continued to appear alongside the president in the Oval Office, promoting the work of DOGE. There were even reports that Musk was sitting in on and holding talks with foreign leaders, blurring the lines between a private citizen and a high-ranking government official. A particularly striking moment came in March 2025 when Trump and Musk took the unprecedented step of turning the White House lawn into a temporary Tesla showroom. Trump, sitting inside a red Model S with Musk, publicly announced his intention to buy a Tesla, a powerful show of support amid global backlash against Tesla over Musk's increasingly controversial political involvement. Musk's self-proclaimed title during this period was First Buddy, a playful yet indicative nod to his close proximity and unparalleled access to the president. The two men seemed to share a vision of disruptive change, a disdain for traditional political norms, and a belief in their own unique ability to fix complex problems. They even teamed up in December 2024 in a coordinated, though ultimately unsuccessful, effort to tank a stopgap government spending bill, showcasing their united front against what they perceived as fiscal irresponsibility. However, even during this peak of their alliance, whispers of tension began to emerge. The monumental task of significantly cutting government spending through DOGE proved more challenging than anticipated. While DOGE enacted workforce and budget cuts, it fell far short of the trillions in savings Musk had publicly pledged. Public polling also suggested that Musk's slash-and-burn approach was not playing well with voters, and his approval ratings began to dip below Trump's. By May 2025, just weeks before the dramatic fallout, Musk announced his departure from his official role in DOGE, citing the end of his scheduled time as a special government employee. At a final Oval Office press conference, Trump publicly praised Musk as one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced, painting a picture of an amicable parting. Beneath the public facade of first buddy bonhomie, a subtle but significant divergence was taking root. The very efficiency Musk sought to bring to government clashed with Trump's populist legislative agenda. While both men wanted to cut spending, they had different ideas about where and how. The Big Beautiful Bill, Trump's latest legislative endeavor, became the crucible for this underlying tension. Musk, with his focus on fiscal austerity, viewed the bill's expansive spending and tax cuts as fundamentally irresponsible and debt-inducing. He believed that the promised savings from DOGE would fund the tax cuts, but when those savings didn't materialize to the extent he expected, the Big Beautiful Bill simply became a massive expenditure. This created an unavoidable conflict. Musk, having positioned himself as a champion of fiscal responsibility, found himself unable to reconcile his public stance with Trump's signature bill. The polite departure from DOGE masked a growing frustration. The initial criticism of the bill, then, was not a sudden betrayal, but the culmination of a simmering disagreement, a principled stand that Musk felt compelled to take, even against his powerful ally. And so, the stage was set. The bromance, built on a foundation of mutual utility and a shared appetite for disruption, was about to be irrevocably broken by a fundamental disagreement over fiscal policy, leading to the spectacular and very public disintegration we are witnessing today. The layers of their complex history make the current feud all the more riveting, a testament to how even the most powerful alliances can crumble under the weight of differing visions and clashing egos. Don't forget to subscribe, like and leave a comment.